So hello again. Hello. Wow, where is everyone today? I mean, not the perfect people are here. The perfect people are here, yes. The ones who obviously need to know that the Holy Land is everywhere. The Holy Land. There is no Holy Land. It's all Holy Land. Okay, let's pass the baskets. Our work here is done. So it's very interesting. Not everyone knows this, and I would not know this, except that I went to school. In order to become a minister, they insisted I know some things about religion, and I know some things about philosophy. But did you know that there are between 4,000 and 10,000 religions in the world? Now look at this. I want you to look. This is where you live. Do you get that? That you live on this planet, whirling through space. There's nothing around us here. Well, maybe some starlight, but sunlight. But we live on this planet. And you know, so I was raised profane. That kind of sounded dirty, didn't it? But I was raised secular. So my parents were not religious. My family, well, I had no family. They were only children. So I didn't have any aunts or uncles. But there was no religion in my family. There was just this idea that and we were a lower middle class family. We had 5 kids, not much money, not much food, not much education, not much travel, not much. So my whole orientation was, your present day moment, is there mashed potatoes on the table? And there was no perception of this. There was no perception that 8 billion people live on this with us. No contemplation about what that means. Like, well, how did it get here? That question was never asked by my parents. How did we get here? Like, what are we doing here in the middle of nowhere, occupying a space that we did not create with 8 billion people, not to mention the billions of animals and the billions of bacteria and the billions of insects. I'm kind of harping on this because it's kind of deep, really, when you think about it. Now, I promise you that whatever created it, and I suppose, in my family, it was all just kind of chaos theory, like there was no meaning. That was just kind of the bottom line. There's no meaning. Don't try to make meaning out of anything. You're born, you live, you pay taxes, and then you die. Did anybody else have that growing up? Yes, of course. So, not of course, but many people. So that very idea, so most people only know what they know because they were told. That's how they know what they know. That's how anybody knows what they know, because somebody told you. Now, we do know something from experience, and those experiential things are far more exhilarating than the things you know because somebody told you. And that's a very practical matter. I mean, wouldn't you rather eat an orange than have somebody tell you how delicious it was? Or wouldn't you rather see the elephant face to face rather than look at a picture I took of it? It's a whole different paradigm of existence. It's a whole different thing when you live in the experience of something. So today, I want us to live in the experience of what a wonder it is that we're even here on this. We're here somewhere. Somewhere is you there, and I promise you that whatever made it, even if it's a hologram, even if it's a Wizard of Oz moment, I don't actually think that that's true. I think it's way deeper and more mysterious. God, 10,000 religions means 10,000 different ways, 10,000 different conversations about what's sacred, what's holy, what's spiritual. Now, what this tells me is, for us as humans, it is vitally important to are to us to have this conversation about meaning and God and sacred and holy, because human beings have been having it the entire history of human beings. So there's something within us, something deep and sacred and like a thread that connects us that wants to have this conversation. And we do have it in 10,000 different ways. Do you think that God took this globe, and when I say the word God, whatever you conjure up is fine. It could be the Wizard of Oz, it could be Van Gogh, it could be, I don't know, I think it's some... But do you think God took a pencil when he was doing the master plan for Earth and drew boundaries? Right, so this, we're going to call this Italy, we'll call this the Congo, we'll call this Russia. No. There is no Holy Land. It's all Holy Land. And it's all holy because it's a wonder. And unless you stretch yourself, unless you move beyond your story, move beyond what you've been told, and think an original thought, like have an original, like I'm going to explore this idea for myself, you may never really capture the significance or the breadth or depth of the wonder that it is. Now, also in alignment with our philosophy, faith, and way of life is that there's no spot where God is not. So in this globe, in that globe, it's everywhere. No spot where God is not. The symbol on this slide is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the center and the circumference. There is no spot that is not holy. Now, as Richard Rohr, how many of you have heard of Richard Rohr before? He's actually, when I first came to Florida, I worked for a brief moment of time with the Open Path Retreat Center, and they had a group that was studying Richard Rohr, and in all my years of study, I'd never heard of him. And he's really quite a well-known, respected spiritual teacher, so I might be researching him a little bit more. I don't know why I brought him up, but in the reading, he's talking about everything is sacred, but we as human beings, we have the ability to not see it. We have the ability to ignore it. We have the ability to pretend it's not true. The problem with the world right now, if we were to define a problem or see it as a problem, is that people think that their religion's the right one, or that their point of view is the only one. And it's just not true. There are 10,000 points of view and 10,000 ways of worshiping a rainbow, 10,000 ways of giving meaning to the small and big events in your life. There's 10,000 ways to approach life, and how life is being approached as if the people who live on the left side of this globe are good people, the people who live on the right side of the globe are not, or that the Holy Land is there but not over there. And this perception, this declaration, this way of seeing things keeps us miserable, keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us in judgment, keeps us from experiencing our wonder, the wonder that you are, that we are. I mean, it's a wonder. Do you know what it takes to get you out of bed every morning? No, I'm not talking about the coffee. I'm talking about the chemicals of sleep and restoration, right? The digestion of your food, the circulation of your blood, the healing of the free radicals moving around, the comforting of your soul. All that happens every night while you do nothing but rest. It's a miracle, right? Is it not? It's a wonder. I love the analogy, like you want to know how life works, because we make life very hard, by the way. We struggle. We're like climbing the mountain with our ski things, right? Trying to get to the next job or to the right amount of money. But here's how life really works. Just cut your finger, go home, take a knife, cut your finger. It doesn't have to be a deep cut. Cut your finger and do nothing else but watch it heal. Now, don't rub it in dirt. That's called self-sabotage. Don't do that. Do nothing but watch the wonder of how life works. Because within a very short period of time, that sliced finger will heal without any help from you. Now, when Richard Rohr talked about we as humans don't want to get on the train, he's talking about us rubbing our wound in dirt. He's talking about that we somehow, I've talked about this before, is the analogy of the butterfly, the caterpillar and the butterfly is so beautiful because the caterpillar is mandated from within to allow his life to end his life, his life the way he knows it, wrap himself up in a cocoon, let his body turn to, it's actually a word for what happens, it's like imaginal cells, so that at some moment, what can emerge from this cocoon is this amazing wonder, this thing called a butterfly. Now, the caterpillar would not say yes if asked. Mrs. Caterpillar, would you like to climb into a cocoon, leave your children, leave your branch, leave your friends, and come into a life more sublime, come into a life more beautiful, more peaceful, better than anything you can ever imagine, and all you have to do is let your body turn to goo. No, thanks. I'll pass. I'll pass. So that's what we do. We take a pass on our good. We take a pass on our happiness. Why? Because we don't want to give up our story about how miserable we are, or how sick we are, or how terrible our upbringing was, or how rotten our first husband or first wife was, or how awful the condition of the world is right now. That we will give up our wonder to anything. Stop it. Stop giving up your wonder. Now, I am not sure, Reverend Emil last week, how was he? I didn't get a chance to see him. He and I are buds. We go back to Los Angeles. We go back to the middle 1900s. I look good, don't I? Yeah. We go back to like 1990. And I don't know how the conspiracy of the universe is such that we're both in Florida now. I'm at his old church now. Anyway. So I'm not sure he talked about this monthly theme, but I also love this talk, Glow Up. So we could have an equally important conversation, and I could go, guys, just grow up. We could say that. We could make a case for a grow-up conversation, right? It's like you're not 5 years old anymore. You're not 15 years old anymore. You are grown-ass men and women. Oh, my God, profanity. Profane. Oh, that's where it's all from my childhood. I was raised profane. But we're adult people, right? But still, we kind of act like children, spoiled, rotten children sometimes. So we could have that conversation, but we're not. The conversation really is glow up. Like, how can you become less dim, less dull, less sleepwalking, less head in the sand, and begin to shine your light, to glow. In the material for this month, it says, glow up is an informal term for a positive personal transformation, typically one involving significant changes in appearance and style, and also growth in confidence and maturity, and sometimes aspects of one's professional and personal lives. So it's a word used to describe the process of moving from caterpillar to butterfly for us. You know, if you were to see me, you know, pre-glow up, pre-glow, oh, I love that. There's pre-glow up and post-glow up. Now, I will not make you identify yourselves because you have pre-glow up when you're just not in the conversation. You have post-glow up when you're in the conversation and talking about it. And then you have the middle. And if you're in the middle, you're in the goo, right? You're in the cocoon of your life. So, so we want to glow up. Now, glow up. I love that. So in 1995, I was smoking. I was complaining. I was cranky. I was tired of being sick and tired. I was about 25 pounds heavier. So when he says here, typically one involving significant changes in appearance and style, growth in confidence and maturity, and sometimes aspects of one's personal and professional lives. So the glowing up process changes you if you say yes in wonderful ways. It's nothing to be afraid of, though it might feel that way a little bit. Like Mrs. Caterpillar, I'm sure, had a little trepidation, but not for long. So this is a picture of happy faces. These are, I'm gonna call these glow up faces. So happy people, loving people, kind people, people comfortable in their own skins, people who have forgiven all the petty tyrants in their lives, people who who've woken up to a degree that they begin to think, to question, you know, how did this planet get here? Who am I? What's going on here? That's really the question. It's like, what is going on in this amazing place that we call home? People who live that way are what I would call beneficial people. Like they're of benefit to the planet. They're raising consciousness. They're taking care of children and plants. They're on the side of peace. They're on the side of community. Now, simultaneously, we have those faces. T.D. Jakes is a very well-known evangelical preacher. I remember listening to him one night in the middle of the night many years ago, and he was saying, I can't really be an evangelical minister. I really don't have that kind of DNA in my body, but you know, he's a big, great big guy, big loud booming voice. And what he said was, he goes, do you know that the ugliest person on the planet, anyone in their right mind would say, oh, that person is ugly as dirt, is beautiful when the Spirit's in them. That when you are imbued by the spirit of love, you are beautiful. When you are imbued by the spirit of peace, you are radiant. You will glow. People will not say, oh, I just met the ugliest woman today. They're going to say, oh my God, I just met this woman today. She was glowing. So you want to make sure that you don't have this face. This is not brain science. This is not brain surgery. This is not difficult. Don't have this face. Have this face. Don't do. Don't do. Thank you. It's that simple. Because this face, this sad, angry, disappointed, combative, judgmental face, not only is not good for the person with his face. By the way, in the biology of belief, written by Bruce Lipton. He talks about, and he's a cellular biologist, so he's a scientist, he's a doctor, and he has proven and written a book about what happens when you have that face, which is it secretes chemicals into your bloodstream which make you sick or make you sad or starts cancer or heart disease or just overall existential angst. Do you know what I'm talking about? He also says when you have a face like this, it also secretes chemicals into your bloodstream, but they are healing chemicals. They actually heal the diseases in your body, your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body. So, yes, no. Yes, no. All right. By the way, women, men too, that face causes less wrinkles than this face. So it also makes you look better. So where in this place where you are right now, in this place, it happens to be in this room, God circled on a map for you. So always my perspective, and it's a demand I have for my God, is we want our awakening, our spiritual growth, the conversations we're having every Sunday morning or wherever I am for our being. By the way, New Thought is of the 10,000 religions, they don't really know, but they say between 4,000 and 10,000. We can go the low end. In the 4,000 religions, obviously there are big ones. Christianity is a big one. Hinduism is a big one. Islam is a big one. Ours, so let's see, if this is Christianity, this is us. So there are not many people on the face of, there are not many people on this globe who are currently practicing our philosophy, faith, and way of life, that are not currently holding the same idea we might have about God or the way that we worship God. The way that we worship God here is that God is everywhere present and is in everyone and right where we are, and that we are connected. So whatever you do affects everyone. I'm going to tell you this little religion, this little philosophy we're a part of, and there are others, but still small compared to Hinduism, right? We know something about that we are a part of the solution or part of the problem. And when I say we, I mean you personally, me personally, and that if our being here doesn't add to our lives, then there's no point in being here, in my view. It's a demand I have of the universe. It's like, God, if I'm here, let me be expressing, let me be loving, let me be happy, let me be peaceful, let me create something wonderful with this little bit of time I have on this beautiful planet. I say that you probably want that too. So, Rumi says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built up against it. So it will take a rather powerful leap of faith for some of you to risk it all, to give up all the reasons you have for not being loved and lovable, for not letting it in, for distrusting the universe. It's easy to distrust the universe. It's weird out there sometimes. But you and God are a majority. So if you align yourselves with the right company, I promise you that the cocoon won't be for too long. It won't hurt that much. And the payoff on the other side is absolutely amazing. So here's our affirmation. I'm going to read it first, and then you're going to read it really loud. Today, I promise to glow up. I radiate joy and gladness everywhere I am. I am not a drop in the ocean of good. I am the entire ocean. Your turn. And so it is. All right, glowers. I even found some glow for us. You see the glow. Let's pray. Let's pray about this. Now, consistent with our philosophy, we're not praying to a reluctant God. We're not begging God to do anything to us or for us, to remove those petty tyrants from our lives, to fix what's over there. We're not begging and beseeching a reluctant God. We come from the place that God, there's no spot where God is not. We are the entire ocean, and we are connected to that which created that beautiful globe, that we are a part of it, an integral part of it, and it is an integral part of us. And so we pray simply to align ourselves with that truth so that we can come out of our morbidity and step into our sacredness and be glad in it. And so as you turn within with me, we're turning within to that sacred and sacred, spacious place and dimension within us that is already holy ground. You are already holy. God is in you. Not like, as Eric Butterworth said, not like a raisin in a roll, but like a wave in the ocean. You are the ocean. You are God in expression. And so I know that we are connected through this truth that there is really no space between me and you. There's no space between the United States and Italy. There's no space between the bottom of the ocean and the top of the heavens. It's all one globe. And it is all holy ground. And so the word that I'm speaking and knowing for each one of us here within the sound of my voice is the full embodiment of that truth with a capital T that will set you free, that will free you from anger, it will free you from resentment, it will free you from fear, it will free you from everything and anything that keeps you stuck and in a rut or locked in a cage of your own making. That there is freedom on the other side of the spiritual cocoon, freedom to be who you truly are, to do what you truly want to do, and to be glad in it. And so I anchor and know peace today, and happiness today, and joy today, and abundance today, because it's all right here. Why? Because right where you are is holy ground. Right where you are, the infinite intelligence that governs this universe is right there with you. And saying yes to every thought, every action, every feeling, every desire, every longing, there's this divine presence. She's saying, yes, my beloved, you are my beloved in whom I am well pleased. And so how grateful we are to have a new thought, a wake-up thought, a possibility thought, a future thought that allows us to move around this planet in freedom and joy. And so with this word released, and I know that the divine yes means it will reveal its holy face, just give it a minute, that we leave this time expecting and accepting it, all is well with our souls. And so for this and so much more, we are grateful for this glorious Sunday morning here in Cape Coral, and we anchor this prayer together by saying, and so it is. Amen.